Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most anticipated comparisons in bodybuilding. We're talking about two of the greatest names ever to dominate the 212 division, Derek Lunsford, the 2021 212 champion, and the only man in history to win both the 212 and Open Mr. Olympia titles, and Keone Pearson, the reigning back-to-back 212 Mr. Olympia champion in 2023 and 2024. But what makes this comparison even more exciting? If Keone has been competing in open bodybuilding with plans to debut it in 25, this puts him directly in competition with Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chupan Sindora, and other elite class athletes. Today we're breaking down their physiques pose by pose, analyzing every detail of their strengths and weaknesses, and discussing whether Keone Pearson has what it takes to follow in Derek's footsteps and make a name for himself in the open class. The front double biceps pose is often the first pose called in comparisons, and for good reason. It sets the tone for the matchup. Derek Lunsford's execution of the front double biceps pose is a visual treat. His bigger frame and sheer fullness immediately capture attention. His biceps peaks are sharp, symmetrical, and perfectly aligned with his broad V taper. His wide lats sweep outward dramatically, while his narrow waist further enhances the illusion of size and structure. However, during his time in the 212 division, Derek's weight cap made his physique appear slightly less dominating than his current open class form. His quads, although detailed and separated, lacked the fullness and sweep that he's now renowned for, giving him a slightly less complete look back then. On the other hand, Keone Pearson brings a more compact, denser look to this pose. His shorter stature works in his favor, making his proportions appear incredibly tight and balanced. His biceps peaks are equally impressive, standing tall with an almost perfect shape. But what truly sets Keone apart in this pose is his quad sweep. His legs are fuller, showcasing deep cuts and incredible separation that perfectly complements his upper body. His symmetry and proportions create a flow that is hard to ignore. This pose is extremely close. Derek edges out Keone slightly due to his overall size, superior quad sweep, and a more balanced appearance. However, had Keone been competing with an open class physique, this could have been a tie. The front lat spread is all about width, structure, and how the chest and lats flow together. For Derek Lunsford, this pose has historically been one of his less dominant ones. While his lats do flare outward impressively, his slightly narrower chest and shorter arms limit the imposing wingspan effect that this pose requires. His chest, while muscular, doesn't project the fullness needed to dominate in this pose. Although his overall structure is solid, the finer details don't create the same dramatic visual impact as some of his other poses. Keone Pearson, on the other hand, shines in the front lat spread. His wider rib cage and clean, aesthetic lines create an almost flawless V taper. His lats flare outward dramatically, giving the illusion of even greater width. What makes Keone even more impressive here is his ability to hit a vacuum pose, which adds a level of classic aesthetics to his already impressive structure. His chest flows more seamlessly into his lats, creating a balanced and powerful look. Keone's superior width, rib cage expansion, and cleaner execution make him the clear winner in this pose. The side chest pose highlights upper body thickness, chest development, and leg detail. Derek's side chest is an underrated weapon in his arsenal. His chest fullness is exceptional, projecting thickness and density. Combined with his powerful arms, shoulders, and triceps, Derek creates a commanding presence in this pose. His side leg detail further enhances the pose, with clean separations visible in both his quads and hamstrings. His overall size and density give him a dominating look from this angle. Keone Pearson has made significant strides in his side chest pose. His outer quad sweep is one of his standout features, and his side leg detail has improved dramatically over the years. However, his chest doesn't match Derek's in terms of fullness, and his upper body appears slightly less dense in this pose. While Keone's lower body is impressive, Derek's overall size and balance give him the edge here. This pose goes to Derek. The back double biceps is often considered the ultimate test of a bodybuilder's physique, showcasing back detail, thickness, and overall symmetry. During his 212 days, Derek Lunsford had one of the most detailed backs in the division. His upper back featured thick traps and clean separations in his lats, creating a visually striking appearance. His hamstrings and glutes were well conditioned, but they lacked the dominant sweep and fullness we see in his open class form. Keone Pearson, despite his shorter frame, brings an incredibly wide and compact look to this pose. His back is thick and detailed, with his shorter proportions making his muscles appear denser. His hamstrings are deeply edged, and his glutes add to the polished look. Keone's back double biceps pose is truly jaw-dropping, making him a standout in the 212 division. However, Derek's superior conditioning and more detailed upper back give him a slight edge here. The pose goes to Derek. Back lat spread pose emphasizes width and lower body balance. While Derek's rear lat spread is strong, it lacks the same wow factor as his back double biceps. His lats flare well, but his traps and lower back don't pop with the same intensity. Keone's rear lat spread, however, is a masterpiece. His wide frame and dramatic lats flare create an impressive wingspan. His traps are thick and well developed, and his lower body, including his hamstrings and glutes, is more detailed, adding to his complete look from the back. Keone takes this pose due to his superior width and lower body balance. The side triceps pose tests triceps development, midsection control, and overall symmetry. Keone Pearson executes this pose with remarkable finesse. His triceps are well developed, and his tight midsection enhances the overall aesthetic. His chest and shoulders flow seamlessly into the pose, creating a balanced and polished look. Derek Lunsford's triceps are equally impressive, but his midsection isn't as tight as Keone's. While his side leg thickness adds to the pose, it doesn't offset Keone's superior midsection control and cleaner execution. Keone wins this pose with his flawless presentation and symmetry. The abs and thigh pose are all about the abs and quad details, with both bodybuilders performing the vacuum pose. Derek's midsection is one of his strongest features. His deeply edged abs and clean tie-ins to his quads make this pose a standout for him. His abs are more visible and clearer in his vacuum pose. Keone's quads are undoubtedly impressive, with deep cuts and great separation. His tight midsection and vacuum pose add to the overall balance of the pose. However, his abs are not as visible compared to Derek Lunsford, but his waist is smaller in comparison. Therefore, he looks more classic and structural. Both athletes bring their best to this pose. Who do you think wins the abs and thigh pose? Comment below and let us know who looks better. The most muscular pose highlights thickness, volume, and overall impact. Derek's bigger frame gives him a clear advantage in this pose. His larger shoulders, fuller traps, and detailed abs create a balanced and imposing look. His quads, more shredded and peaked, add to his overall presence, making him a force in this pose. Keone Pearson brings his compact and full physique to this pose. His traps and shoulders are impressive, but they don't match Derek's size and detail. While Keone is thick and dense, Derek's superior frame size and overall balance make him the clear winner. What does this mean for Keone's potential in the open division? If he can carry over his incredible proportions, conditioning, and stage presence while adding size to compete against the giants of the open class, he could very well follow in Derek's footsteps and become a top contender. What do you think? Can Keone Pearson dominate the open division just like Derek Lunsford? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on all things bodybuilding. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.